guys, so today I'm here to share stories of my terrorist encounters in Srinagar. This happened a while ago when I was a teen. My father was in the military, so we were posted in Srinagar, and well, these things happened. So I'm going to start with the least to the maximum, okay? Yeah. So the first story is that where the army used to stay was a different part of the city. It was kind of like the outskirts of the city, and we came all the way to Srinagar or Gulmarg. I don't remember the actual location, but we came there for the birthday party of a senior's child. Now, my father was pretty senior there as well, so this person was his senior. Now he had to go, obviously, right? You can't just not go. So we went there, and while coming back it was really late at night, and that's like danger. I was there especially for forced persons, so people recommended my father to stay, and they said, you know what, you shouldn't go, it's dangerous at this time. But then my father was the head of his battalion there, so he's like, if I'm not there, what if something happens? So I need to be there, so I'll go. Now we used to go in a bulletproof car with a gunman standing on top out of the little window on the roof, you know, so he was outside with the gun. So we used to drive around like that, and we came back, and the gunman was like, you know what, I feel like I see someone in the woods. We're like, you know what, we can't stop here because that'll be more dangerous, so we'll just drive. The next day, turns out lots of militants were killed there, so could have been an encounter. Anyway, the next one, my grandparents, like our family would come and visit because we were there for a brief period. So my grandparents had come in, and they were supposed to go and visit the city in this car, right? So the car was scheduled for them, but then something happened and they ended up cancelling the plan. So later on we found out that car ended up blasting. It did not take anyone there, the car was just there, but then it blasted off. So maybe it was for the grandparents, I don't know, but if their plan had not been cancelled, I would have lost some family members. I'm smiling while saying this, but this is serious business, so I'm smiling for the camera. Now the last one is something that happened directly with me, and I saw this and I experienced this. So from this trip, all these happened in one trip, by the way. So from this trip, while we were coming back, we had actually taken our car, so we had to drive it back to the place where we used to live, right? So we were driving. Now how we were driving is, our car was in the middle, then a bulletproof car with gunmen in the front and one in the back. That is how we would drive. So because my father was at a senior post, right? So we were driving out. Now how security is in Srinagar, at least it was back then, is that you have the hills here, then there's a roadway beside it, right? And then there's this little ditch that they have created, and gunmen stand in there, so you can't see them directly, but then you can see them, okay? So it was like that, and we drove a little, and then after a while they stopped us there. We were still nearby Srinagar, I mean Jammu&Kashmir only. So they were like, sir, you can't go. We're like, why, what's up? He's like, we've got the information that there's a bomb right here, and it can go off. We're like, how do you know that? He's like, we've been in contact with the terrorists. Can you see someone up there? We're like, yeah, there's a shadow of someone there. So he's like, yeah, right on top of the hill, that's the terrorist. He says he has the remote in his hands and he will, you know, push it. So we're like, what? He's like, this is dangerous stuff, you are the senior most officer here, something can happen, you cannot go. We're like, okay. We waited around. I guess he negotiated. I was a little girl back then, so they didn't share a lot with me, but then whatever I could gather. So I guess my father talked with him on the walkie-talkie or whatever, and they negotiated, tried to ask who it is for and stuff like that, but we couldn't get something out of him, I guess. So my father was like, you know what, we can't wait here forever, because we had waited for a few hours. So my father was like, we can't wait here forever, so we have to go. What do we do? He's like, okay, fine, let's just do it. And I'm like, father, no, I don't want to die, please make me stay here, it's okay. But then he was like, no, we have to go, I had school and stuff. So I was like, okay, time to die. I was such a scared little girl. I mean, I had zero confidence and zero, you know, like I would not take risks. I was like, no, I'm not going out of the house if that means taking a risk. So my father said, first we will let the bulletproof cars go, and then it will be us. That was such a tense time. I'm like, I'm gonna die, I'm dying, basically I'm dead, I will never be able to live my Bollywood fantasy, but it's okay. So the first car goes, nothing happens. We're looking at the little terrorist there, okay? He was so thin, I could only see his shadow because it was too far up the mountain, but there was a little shadow of someone, right? And when they were talking, he would like wave and like do actions like this is the button. So yeah, he would go and I would look up and I'm like, oh my god, is he pressing? Is he pressing? No blast. And then I'm like, no pressing, no pressing, no pressing. The other car goes. Now it's time for our car. I'm like, I'm dying basically. This is where my grave will be. Maybe they won't find my body. It's okay, whatever. Ours goes. We're like, start up. We're like, are you sure, sir? Are you sure? My father's like, we have to go. Can't do anything. And my mom was mum. She did not say anything. And I don't remember much of her saying anything. But we go. We start the car. And then my father's like, we're gonna do this, okay? I'm like, dead. I'm dying. Bye world. It was nice seeing you. And then we take the car. My father just increases the speed. We're like, we hear that screech noise of the tires and we just roll with it. Woo! No blast. No blast. That's why I'm here right in front of you, right? And while going, we could see that terrorist. We were like, oh, thank God. Thank God. But then we don't know who it was for because we did not get any information of a bomb blast at that spot. So I guess he was just bluffing. But yeah, I could have died that day. And my father later on, because much of a scared little person I was, my father was like, you were sitting on the side that they filled the tank with, you know, it could have exploded, you would die so badly. And my father was so bad like that. And I was like, yeah, I was not adventurous at all, so my father would just play up with it. My encounters with terrorists in Srinagar. The situation of Srinagar right now is really bad. I've done one flight there. It's not a good situation. I would just say be with humanity, be loyal to humanity. That is what I would say. Yeah, take care, be safe. See you guys later. Bye bye.